Uh, let's just jump straight to it. I had to run and change back into my CM Punk shirt because we recorded the pick'ems a few hours ago, and it was all pie in the sky hindsight. I'm trying to upload the video as we speak of the pick'ems, and they did it. Triple H and crew, the new staff and crew, as far as leadership, executives, all the way up to the TKO staff and the new chairman and all of those guys that's in charge made this happen. CM Punk is now officially back on WWE soil. That
Oh yeah.
probably something we would have never heard, or I mean, never said in this time.
Years ago.
Probably, I mean,
No.
maybe when he retired for real, come back and get his WWE
Hall of Fame.
and all of that. But to be still wrestling, still kind of active and still in shape because he came back in shape to come back to the AEW, and you could tell he still kept up in shape. Even look younger.
Listen, man, he looks better.
He
He
looked
looked
younger.
better.
He looked
He
younger with
looked
the
better.
haircut and everything. Like he looked.
He looked
How
better
he
than
added.
he left
How he
AEW.
Yeah, somehow he looks younger when he left AEW for some reason. But anyway, he comes back, looks, great. And
Randy Orton looked
Randy Orton, yeah,
amazing.
like Randy Orton looked like,
The Viper looked like he was 20
yeah,
again.
he was just pumping iron the whole time he was gone. So, uh,
He was pumping Kim.
oh man, I mean, probably, yeah. He's seen his fiance, Randy Orton's fiance. She's a looker.
Mm,
I mean, fiance, wife. She's a,
wife.
but
She's even hotter in person.
yeah, right. But
Trust me.
yeah. So okay, we got to get to Punk later. Let's get to Punk later, and let's just start.
Man, listen, man. Let's just cut to the chase.
No, let's get through it because
The
the middle of the card didn't matter. I just want to get to
no,
female war games. It has to be talked about first because
that was good. That was
honestly I'm gonna just stay as flat out. That might be the match of the night. I thought the women's war games was better than the men's one because they had way more spots. They had way more spots. Like the guys barely used weapons.
yeah.
Women used just about every weapon you could use. They did several different spots off the cage. Like they went all out. Like I was thinking about it when I was sitting there, and I was like, "Yo, the women's war games match is better." Like I said that midway through, like it's better. Like it's just better. Like they just used more. They just used. It was. It just felt more personal. Shotzi got
Yeah.
busted up. She clearly has a butt. She's. I would be surprised if her nose isn't broken. Like she was like
Yeah, she
Kyrie.
got
Kyrie was swinging that fucking trash can lid. She was swinging
oh
that
yeah.
like she had some purpose behind it. Like and
Oh
Shotzi,
yeah.
Shotzi wasn't. She took a shot. The last shot she took, I believe that was the shot that busted her open. I think she was busted open. So
No, I think it was before, a little bit beforehand.
yeah, so she took the brunt of a lot of that punishment, but
Yeah,
um,
I agree.
they win the match. I as I said, I thought that Bailey would
As
of
you
course
predicted.
take the pin. Um, now they didn't turn on her or anything like that, so maybe they'll save that for Raw. But she was gonna take the pin. Not with Kyrie Sane coming in. She's her first match coming back and being
Mhm.
champion over there in Japan. She's not gonna eat that pinfall, no way. So
Yeah.
and the rest of the girls are not going to do that as well, especially with Io being champ. So that was just a no brainer. So that happened. They, ripped it up, tore it down. The women, all of them. Becky Lynch manhandle slam through the table. 1, 2, 3. That's the end of that. Um, Now, I want to just get through that, even though I think that was probably at least top two matches of the five. It had to be. But
Easily. I mean, everything else kind of just like
yeah,
mid.
everything else was just kind of mid. But yes,
Give credit to Miz though.
yeah, that was a good match. And I said it. I said the Miz, they're gonna make it a credible
Yeah.
for by the Miz. He's gonna do it whatever he could do to win. And actually, I thought that they would go over the top and make Gunther look a little weak just to give Miz some respect. But they didn't do that way. They didn't go that way. And
No.
I'm glad they didn't do that. They kept consistent with booking Gunther as this powerhouse, no nonsense. Like, I'm coming to just take your head off and walk through you. And that's what he did ultimately. So I'm surprised that went next after. That's why I had put in the DM. I was like, oh wow, this is next. Like they put, I think, they put that right after the women's war games. They put that match, Mike and Gunther. So that was interesting. I thought that they would have went in a different direction. So to have Escobar's match go after that is weird to me, but I would have just got the Escobar match out the way and just but whatever. Like, so that match happened. Escobar won. I'm getting through it real quick. Escobar, Santos Escobar beats Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee.
That wasn't surprising at
I think
all.
that was just the weakest one. I think out of the
Yeah, it was just
matches,
a
that was the
it
weakest.
was just a whatever match. Then you had that just two, that's three. Then you had the
Ripley.
women's match, and of course, as we all expected.
Actually, that was choppy. Zoe was not ready for
Okay,
the
yeah,
big lights.
mention that. Tell me more. Tell me more.
It was sloppy, man. I mean, honestly, she made Ripley look horrible in the match. Like, she, I mean, I wish George was on. And don't worry, we'll get him on one of these days for sure. But it was choppy. Like, I want to say it was like maybe like a miscue here and there between them
Yeah,
two.
she definitely.
Um,
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real.
she hit Ripley in the face though, for real with that kick. She legit hit her in the
Did
face.
Rhea pay her back like a receipt? They call it in the business.
I don't.
She didn't get a receipt, so Rhea's nice. She's nice. So
You know what? To be honest with you,
probably have to like look
because it
back
was.
at it, right, to see if she got a
Yeah,
receipt.
I really have to because like,
Yeah.
yo,
I
Ripley
didn't.
like really, her eyes like was like wide open, like not one of those like fake wide open, like wide open, like yo, you legit kicked me when he wasn't supposed to. Like, okay.
I'm gonna just keep it real, you guys. Full disclosure, I took a shower during that match. I ain't gonna even lie. I just
I,
I already knew that.
yo, you picked the best match to do it.
I
I
did.
mean,
I didn't watch it. I'm sorry. I didn't watch it. Yeah, I didn't even see the intro. The intros.
let me,
I
again,
was like, oh, this is
I'm
perfect
wishing
time
our
for me to take a
boy.
shower.
I am wishing our boy was on right now because him and I was watching it and we're talking back and forth. And it was just Zoe. I don't know if it was because I don't know. It's hard to say. Because I've seen her, matches on Raw and stuff, and I don't know what it is. The nerves. I have no idea. I
I
mean,
mean, it's a big spot. It's a
it,
big pay-per-view. One of the
yes.
pay-per-views of the year. It's right
So,
before the main event. So that's
so
another big. It's a big
maybe
spot. And I said this. I said this in the other video, in the picks and predictions video, before the show. I said, I don't dislike Zoe, but I'm like, why Zoe in this spot? Why does she have to be in this spot right now? Like,
they don't really have anyone. I mean, George mentioned in our chat, and I think you know what, man, we could go back a year ago. I think I mentioned this. AEW, what was missing in AEW was the women's talent. Remember, I said it. All they were missing at that time was women's talent. Now it's switched over. I think a lot of the women's talent is now on AEW.
I've said that. I've said that though. I've
Well,
said
you
that
said
for
it.
quite
Yeah,
some
no,
time.
you said it. And George said it today in the chat.
They got a really deep the problem with
Like,
the
you're,
problem that was in the beginning for AEW in its inception, because now it's been like 4 years now. So like the
yeah.
first like maybe 2 years, maybe that first not even 2 years, that first year, like it was rough because they were just getting out the gate. They were
And
still
then
trying to
COVID.
yeah, and then they were still trying to establish who will be like, their flags, like, the chicks that's gonna, and then that's when they came out, and then Britt Baker came out of that group. Thunder Rosa came out of that group. Uh, so and then they started to build a little more after that. Then you get Jamie Hayter, and then you get Willow Nightingale. You get all
Mm.
of these others, like, and they just kept building and building. The thing that's really good about these AEW women is these chicks. I mean, and take out the young chicks like Sky Blue,
My
uh,
wife.
um, Anna Jay. What's the other young chick that's the TBS champion now?
Uh,
My girl. Oh man, I'm going blank. Well, she just won the TBS champion. I cannot believe I'm forgetting.
the
Julia Hart. So
yeah.
Julia Hart, and she's 21. So those young, they're just like the next class. Like so, but the mainstays like the Jamie Haters of the world and all those other that I named before, even throw Ruby Soho in there. Like all of these chicks that I've named, Tony Storm, like they can wrestle. Like, even Athena. They took Athena um over there. They
Mhm.
Ember Moon, as she was called over in WWE, and she was really good in NXT. And then once she got called up, they ruined her. So,
Well,
you know,
one person ruined her.
actually, to be honest, she, because I didn't really follow Athena like that before she got to WWE. You know what I'm saying? So when I did
Mm-hmm.
research on her, it turns out like the version of what she is now as the champion in ROH is the
Mm-hmm.
actual version she is when she was in the Indies. Like that's how she actually was. So, and I love it. I love what she's doing. I actually think that Athena should be on TV more. Like they just kept her stuck in ROH for some real reason. And you got
Yeah.
everybody else coming up except for Athena for some reason. I don't get it. But
Well, one
she's
of
she's
those.
no joke. She's no joke. Um, but yeah, the chicks can wrestle, man. They got some chicks that can actually wrestle and throw down. So
I mean, also too, we're missing Liv Morgan. I'm a fan of
yeah,
Liv.
there's still some injuries.
Uh,
Liv is out.
and
Who
I
else?
mean, I would have saw man. That would have been a great match
Who?
if she was Liv instead of Zoe. Is what I'm saying. Like, because they have a good rapport, her and Ripley.
Maybe that's what it
You know what
is.
I'm
Maybe
saying?
it's not good with chicks that's brawly like she is. You get
Well,
what
yeah,
I'm
like I
like?
said, she was sloppy, man. Like,
No, it's not
it,
even.
it,
And hopefully it doesn't do her harm as far as staying up in
ooh,
Zoe.
Zoe.
If it is because these are
Yeah,
the
but
type of
she,
performances that usually drop you in the card.
but I wasn't even big on her. Like, I really wasn't. I wasn't big on her.
But like you said, they
Honestly,
have a talent shortage right now, and
well,
that's why
kind
they
of
brought back
because
Nia Jax, and they brought back Kyrie Zane, and they bringing people back
but
because
see,
the division is depleted.
I mean, NXT got some good women wrestlers. Sometimes I catch a match or two, and
It's
I don't
amazing
know
that
who they are.
I never bothered to watch NXT. I never.
I don't, but I'm flipping the channels. I'll
It's
be
not like
bored at times. It's
it's
on
not like I have a
Tuesdays.
weird. I know it's not like I have a weird hatred for it. It's just that I never
It's
tuned into it because I remember in the old days when they
mhm.
began, it was only solely on the WWE network. And
Yeah,
at the time, I was in this. That's what it is. And the
and
time,
they're going to CW.
Yeah, they are going to CW, which I think is a good move because it's an off brand. Like now
Well, it is, but also
they
don't
should try to
forget
figure
too.
out what's going on with the on demand thing with that. Like figure out your on demand deal too, man, because
Nah,
it's important, in my opinion.
listen, I mean, and then the day I think there's some women in the in NXT that would have been a better match. I'm not a fan of Zoe. Um,
I feel that.
I,
I feel
I
that.
I feel like you know what? She's like a better bodyguard, like she was with Trish. Um, and she should just play that role.
I can't get upset with that. Like the muscle.
Like,
Like that
yeah,
she
that's
should be
all.
like
Like,
the muscle in a female faction group.
yeah, the muscle,
And
maybe a tag
are
team
you still
champion.
watching? Because I'm in my office. I'm not in the living room.
Yeah,
So you watching the press conferences?
yeah.
All
Triple
right.
H right now is just talking.
So they didn't bring up
Not yet,
they didn't bring
not yet.
Phil up yet.
They
Pepsi
brought
Phil.
in. Hold on. They brought in, or he brought up the best return though. Our truth.
Yo, that was a good yeah. So let's talk about that too because it's also part of the show. So a lot of
Our
people kind of
truth,
didn't like
man.
the
He
ads and
don't
stuff like
age. He
that.
don't age.
He don't add. I mean, he's like 50, and he's and he doesn't look it at all, and he looks
I
great. Like he
age.
could still wrestle. So our truth popping up like the way he did in that Ruffles ad spot was ingenious. It
Yeah,
works.
they can't let him go.
Yeah, I mean, because
They
he can
really
do
can't.
anything. He can just you could look at it. They just put him in a Ruffles ad spot with the most awkwardest people, and it worked. He became the star instantly. It didn't
He is
matter
that
who was
guy.
in the scene. He was the star. So our
He
truth
made
is
the
such
24/7 belt relevant. Let's just be honest. Like that belt was a
that's
joke.
impressive. That's impressive.
That belt
It's hard to make a joke uh
relevant.
relevant or make it work in general. When something is
Yeah.
meant to be a joke and then he make it work, like because he's so committed, he's so good at what he does as far as his character is concerned.
Mhm.
So shout out to our truth. But yeah, so he reappeared. He's back because he's been out with an injury for a while too. I think he had a shoulder injury or
Yeah.
something. So now he's
Yeah.
back. So that's good. They can do some things with him and put him in funny situations with different wrestlers or whatever. So that'll help the show out week to week because again, you got to spice it up more. So yeah, just real quick because I want to get through this so I can get back to Punk. uh, so yeah,
Your boy.
here we go to the Mel War games. Finn Balor started off first, and then he went up against Seth Rollins first.
Mhm.
So they had it was decent. We've seen it before. And then slowly everybody started to come in, and then the big, of course, drama tease was like, hey, is Randy Orton showing up or not? And they teased it throughout the match. Like I said, I don't think that they utilized the cage or the weaponry or the spots like the women did. The women went crazy. Like that spot that
Mhm.
Sky did with the trash can was crazy. Like she looked like a professional stunt devil. Like you know how hard that is to do. Like the way that she was able to just put it over her head, and then the way she made her body fall. You see how she kind of like made it fall and lean to the side, like she was like
Yeah.
limp when she fell. Like she knew how to fall. Like she know what she doing, man. That's some professional work, man. That's the instantly what I thought. Like, how did she just fall like that? But anyway,
By the way, your boy's talking about CM right now.
uh, Triple
Yeah, man.
H. So yeah,
Saying
fast forward. I mean, Randy Orton comes out to a huge applause. He looks ripped. He probably looks like he's added 10 or 15
easily,
pounds of muscle, easy,
easy.
and it's all through his upper body, all the way up to his neck and his head. Everything has gained extra muscle, including Randy's head. Pause. But beyond that, You know, they win, they get the match. They had a big spot. What's his JD jumped off they
Mhm.
threw him off the cage into an RKO, and boom, they win the match.
Was dope. That was dope.
It was dope. You know, everybody's hugging and congratulating Randy for coming back and this, that, and the third. And you know, we're still, you know, cutting away and get ready to you know, be over with the whole pay-per-view. It's over. Let's go home, guys. Let's go home. Uh 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 not quite. Not quite yet. Then we hear distortion noises. Similar noises that we've heard from the past. Nah, that's okay. Ain't nothing that. Ain't nothing. Well, wait a minute. The Titantron turned it. It's CM Punk. Pepsi Phil is back. Like we said earlier, he looks younger somehow.
Not trying to cut you off right now. Hold on. It really does sound like he's back though. From what I'm listening to right now. It doesn't sound like this was just a hoorah, I'm here for,
all right, so
claps.
that's
It
good. I'm
sounds
glad you watch, and I'm glad you watch. I'm
from
not.
the what Triple is saying, uh like Triple H says, man, this is a different company.
Shout out
And
to Triple H.
he said he's excited to see what he does. So you know what that means. This is not. I don't think this is
What's
a
happening?
part time. I don't.
what feuds is he gonna get into?
I'm gonna tell you right
Because
away.
everything's on
He's
the
going.
table.
No. He's going after
Everything's on the
Seth.
table.
He's going after Seth. You didn't.
I mean, that's obvious.
Let's just jump back to what you were saying because this is what's gonna lead to it. Jump back. I just had to add
But
that.
yeah, so Punk comes out. I mean, it almost took, it was funny because I think even like me, but it wasn't. I kind of got over it quick, but it seemed like the crowd almost didn't believe it at first. It took them a little while. Like he had to come out and stand out for a
He
little.
didn't come out right away.
He didn't come out right away, but still, even when he came out, it was like, all right, yeah, yeah. And it was like almost he had to come up closer for them to be like, oh, wait a minute, that's really him. Like,
Yeah, I think that honestly, I think the cages were blocking it from the
yeah, I
sides.
think so. You know, that's probably right. That's why the reaction was a little delayed because I was like,
Yeah,
because then once he stepped out and then he did the, especially when he did the you know, the it's clobbering time. That's when it was up after that. Like, okay, yeah, that's him. That's the guy. That's the guy we thought we would never see here again. And here in Chicago, look, shout out to fucking WWE. Shout out to the new WWE, Triple H's regime.
I like Triple H have said,
This is
man.
this this is monumentally. This is beyond Punk. Like now, I'm about to bring it into a business.
Well, he said he kept in touch.
He
They've been
did.
in
He did.
touch.
Punk,
He
listen,
said no.
listen. This is what I be saying to people. This dude, you know, everybody else in the business may play checkers. This dude plays chess. Before he came back off his injury in the summer, where did he go? He made this abrupt stop to one of these towns where the WWE was performing. And then they made this big old
Yeah.
thing that, oh, CM Punk was there and he was talking to people before he got kicked out. He
Oh
was
yeah, talking to Triple H.
he was talking to Triple H.
No, was it the Miz?
The Miz was there.
The Miz was
There was a
there.
few guys there. The Miz was
Yeah,
there. I don't
but I
think
think it
Seth
was
was there though. But there
no,
was
no,
a
no,
few
no. It
guys
was
that
the
Miz was
Miz.
there though. He was and Triple
Yeah,
H.
because I
He was
saw that
yeah,
photo. I
and he
saw
was
that
able to
photo.
talk to a lot of guys, hash it over. Miz was on this shit
Yeah.
too. So he was able to hash it out with a lot of guys, and the main guy being Triple H, him being the guy in charge now.
Yeah.
And it was kind of ironic he did that because it was like I respected it, but it was like almost as if it was like, listen, let me fix this up right now before
Yeah.
in case this doesn't pan out. Like he must have already been having doubts
At AEW.
before he came back. Because remember, before Collision started, let me get to Collision real quick. I'm on a roll. Hold on, man. I'm
Keep
sorry.
going. I'm
There's a
listening.
lot of stuff. This is a lot of ramifications that's going
Listen,
to
man.
happen after this.
This is your guy. This is your
Yeah,
guy.
but this is on a business level now. Like there's a ton of ramifications that's going to
And
come
this
from
Bill
it.
said.
And the fact that he did that, and it was like, oh, that's odd. He's doing it right now, given that he's still technically contracted through AEW. Okay, cool. But it just makes sense now because it's like, oh, let me set up and kind of repair this relationship while I have the chance. And just in case this goes south. Because he must have knew that it was gonna go south because his relationship with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and that never
Young
changed.
Bucks.
It never changed. Young, you see what I'm saying? Young Bucks. Let me
Can't
not get into
stand the Young
let me
Bucks.
not get into the Young Bucks, but
Can't
like
stand the Young Bucks.
there was reports saying that there was meetings and such that was supposed to be set up along the way to even one of the last moments that he like a month before he got fired. Tony Khan was supposed to set up a meeting with these dudes, and then it just magically didn't happen. And it was like it was this one thing after another. Then the weird um travel accommodation thing. Remember that? Did you hear about that? With the before the show out in Wembley, the weird travel accommodations he had to get on the subway and figure out to get to the
Oh
stadium and
yes.
all this other weird shit that went on with your top draw. He's your top draw in the company. Like all of these things was happening before what ultimately happened.
Mm.
This is why I don't have confidence in Tony Khan. He's a child running a company, and it's like he's a child running a company with other children.
Well, he's gonna act like a child this week.
He's got what was his what was
He's
his
gonna act like a child on this week's
I refuse to think
episodes.
he didn't know something because he's a billionaire and
No, I don't think. I mean,
people
personally, I
know
think
stuff that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? But
I think he knew the rumors, like we all
that it
did,
could
and we
be
all
true, that it could be
expected. That could
true.
be true.
Yeah, but not yeah.
I don't think he fully knew.
That he would just
I
show
mean,
up.
listen, man, let's just be honest, okay? When we all were hearing CM Punk chants, and we saw that Randy came out, all those CM Punk chants just went out the window. Like the it was over. The match was over. There's no CM Punk. It was a delay too. Usually, they win and then boom, something happened right away. Right away. I honestly think credit to Trip. They had a long delay before the music show or his music went on. I really think they really, had it secretly kind of under the wraps. I told you what I read earlier that he wasn't there to wrestle, that he wasn't there. So I personally feel that Tony didn't know and he's gonna get pissed off and he's gonna act like a child.
Think about this. This is what I said, the ramifications that happens from this.
Mhm.
Oh man, CM Punk he's a dirty motherfucker, yo. He is a
Well,
dirty dog. Hold up, let me just break it down why I said this. This is why I believe, like, yo, if you a shrewd business, like I think the WWE is and how they've always been, even before trips, I said, yo, the stars have aligned. This is the most perfect business move. Fuck what you feel about Phil Brooks.
and that's what Triple H just said too. I'm sorry,
It's the
keep going.
perfect business move.
That's what Triple H said.
Here in one of our big pay-per-views of the year, Survivor Series, War Games in Chicago, and the biggest wrestler that's from there so happens to be a free agent. Why would we not do that to stick it? This who still to this day, he still remains AEW's top draw. Why would you not pick him up just out of business? Like it just makes business sense. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, what the big mans have always said about business. If it's good for business, it's
Yeah.
all they always been about business. This is business. And then he debuts, not just at Chicago on a pay-per-view for the WB, but he does it on the night that was supposed to be his night for AEW. He does it on Collision night.
Collision. Now
They gonna
I'm
cancel
gonna
the show. They gonna end up probably canceling
listen.
Collision.
I'm gonna jump into
Since
a
he
question
left,
you
they have
asked.
not returned back to the ratings that they once had.
I'm gonna jump into a question you asked like minutes ago. Who is CM Punk going after? And I don't know if you saw it. I know you're a big CM Punk fan, so you probably was just in like oh my god mode still. He was looking straight at Seth Rollins, looking
And Seth
straight at him.
Rollins was talking all the shit. He heard
when
all the
when he
shit.
was with AEW and his
He
yo,
heard everything.
let's you know what? Go straight to the belt. Just you know what? Have
What
it.
else? What else
And
is he there for?
listen, you know what too? Book it. I forgot when's the next pay-per-view. Just book it. There's no you don't have to have storytelling. If you're a wrestling fan, you already know the beef. Seth talk all that shit while he was in AEW. Obviously, when he came out, he looked right at him. Eyes were popping. You already know what he's there for, right?
When are
But
we
guess what?
gonna
But let's just make it interesting, right? The match goes in. They both going at each other. CM Punk hits him with his move. Here comes Priest with the briefcase. Priest wins the belt, right? Wins the belt. I don't know. I don't know what's the
Punk,
next
and
match,
again,
next pay per view, but
Punk doesn't need the belt, by the way.
no. But here you go. See now on the next pay per view because I'm not sure what's next. Right? I don't know what's in December. I know January is damn. What's January? I think I mentioned it earlier.
It's this
But
Royal
anyways,
Rumble's January
it-
usually.
okay. So guess what? In January,
Am
have a triple threat match. CM Punk, Priest, and Seth. Why not? You still got it. Will you're booking already two big pay per views back to back,
They're gonna hold Seth for either the Rumble or
but have him lose the belt again.
WrestleMania.
You see
Regardless,
it.
the belt don't matter. I'm just
Well,
talking
no,
about I'm just talking about him and Punk. They're gonna have that match, but we just don't know when.
but hold on, but see, you can still have that match with for the belt, and you don't have to finish the match. Priest comes in, wins it, right? The match is pretty much over between CM Punk and Seth. It's like a draw, pretty much over. The belt, you know what I'm saying? He lost the belt to Priest. Royal Rumble comes in. You get a triple threat match, right? Guess what? They both lose again. Priest takes advantage. Now in WrestleMania, even though title matches are your main attraction, WrestleMania, Philly, CM Punk versus Seth, whatever type of match you want to call it, right? That's going to sell. That's going to sell for one of the WrestleMania matches. Either a Saturday night, it has to be Saturday night match, obviously, because
Well, yeah,
Sunday is the
they're doing
big
all the
finale.
paper. They're doing, but I think they're doing the pay-per-views on Saturday now anyway.
But no, WrestleMania is still
Well,
a double night.
yeah, they're doing the double night, so
Yeah. So why not
Saturday,
make that
usually
the
gonna start
first night?
Saturday. But see, the thing is too, I don't know, because if you're a CM Punk, you've done it all in WWE already. You're not there for really title runs or anything like that. You're there for a
But
couple
that's
things
but
on your list. You want to have a few feuds with some guys that Seth obviously is on that list, but he still wants to. He still has one thing that has eluded him that he's been wanting is he wants to headline WrestleMania. He's never
that
had,
would be a good headliner though. That would be a best freaking headliner.
so he's never headlined WrestleMania. So um you could do I guess the way you can the way you can get around that is doing because you can headline WrestleMania now because it's double nights. So technically you're like, oh,
Saturday night.
you did headline WrestleMania for night one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like night two, whatever. So maybe that could be a perfect middle ground, but knowing Punk, he would love to have night two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
but he's not.
but I think he would take a
It's
perfect
Roman
middle
show.
ground of it's Roman. So
It's Roman. I mean Roman,
I mean, so
and then with The Rock, with this whole nonsense with The Rock, might be doing it,
I don't
may
know.
not.
I don't think he's doing anything. I don't. I've given that up. I've given up the whole Rock dream. I've given it up.
Exactly. But as I'm saying, like, we're not going to give up night two
Now
for CM Punk.
again, I could be naive in giving it up after just seeing what we saw tonight. Like usually, what we hope will happen don't happen, and lately it's been happening. So you got to give it credit. Like I was going on a limb and saying, this is the way that but and deep down inside, I'm like, they'll disappoint. They won't do it. They won't do it. Will they do it? Will they do it? They won't do it. And then I was
I mean, I
sitting
was kind
there.
of
Hold
right.
on, I was
I was
sitting
kind of
there
right.
even before Randy came out. I'm sitting there like, will they do it? They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. So Randy comes out, and I'm like, all right. And Randy came out and all that, and I'm just like, I don't know, some of this don't seem right. And I'm like, why he could still that's all right. And there we go. I was like, oh, okay, here we go. I was like, they really did this shit. That's all I could say. I'm just sitting there in disbelief, like they really did it. I was really proud of the WWE. Like for a long time, I'm like, man, they really did it. They really did what they should do. What the
Yeah.
obvious thing is, they did it. Like that's impressive. That's impressive. Gotta respect that. But again, there's connections in that. You're a UFC company now. You're a UFC. Phil has a connection to the UFC still with Dana.
I
Connection
mean, you could
to
still you could still do a match of the future with him and somebody in the UFC that he has
not even.
a feud
He
with.
could just do commentating. Easy.
I don't.
He do because he does that
Yeah.
already. He already does
No,
commentate.
I get it, but I think
Because they're gonna try to cross over and all that. That's a great way to
I
cross over. You can
that's
say, oh,
true,
current
but
WWE superstar CM Punk is in. He's used to G in the octagon. And
yeah, but you know what? I
It's
personally
I can see
feel
him
he got
sitting
the
next to.
itch for wrestling, though. I think he got the itch when he was in AEW. He didn't get his fair
It's
chance
so
to do
disappointing.
that.
The thing, oh god, the thing that's so disappointing with AEW and how they. I said
They
it.
didn't. They didn't. They
You
didn't
know.
get
I
his
went
fair
crazy.
chance.
You know how crazy
No,
because
I know.
I was like, bro, you guys could have handled this so much better. Like, and I just kept going back to Tony Khan. I was like, yo, he's a horrible manager of talent. Like, he's just terrible. Like, it could have
And
went
like I
so
said,
much
now you
better.
have, and he still has the itch. He didn't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
he didn't have the
When he
full.
came back, he looked way better. Like off of the ankle thing, when he came,
Yeah.
he looked way better. And that's this second run than he did in the first run. He looked way better. Like he looked like he was in shape. Like he could take
Hmm.
bumps and he was doing all the stuff. And like he looked like he was ready for the run that he was supposed to have. And then that whole shit happened with Jungle Boy. But it was all building up. Like
Which, by the
it was
way,
building up. It
where
was
is Jungle Boy?
he's he hasn't been back. So that's the point. But that's the point. But that is my point with Tony Khan. You're a fucking clown. You could have handled this way differently. Put him on suspension. You could have just suspended these motherfuckers. All right, whatever.
Yeah, but you know what?
Let's handle
Hey,
it outside.
he's back.
No.
He's back home though, right? He's back home.
Well, he had a brief run in AEW. Had a, it was a very, very brief run. Had a couple championship, short title reigns. Had some. He had a couple. He had a couple classic matches. Now we're not gonna like he didn't. He had that classic match.
No, of course.
But he had the classic match with MJF in the dog collar match. That was classic match. He had a classic match with Joe. Uh, he had some good matches. He brought. He helped out Jay White a lot. Jay White a lot, because when Tony Khan first brought Jay White, he didn't know what the hell to do with him. And CM Punk getting the deal, or him being there, allowed them to close out on, help close out on that Collision deal for Saturdays. And that was supposed to help the Jay Whites, the Miros, the people that Tony Khan wasn't fucking booking right in the first place. And now it's a mess because you fired him and didn't have. You thought Adam Copeland was supposed to fill the void?
Listen, I'm
No.
sorry, Cody. Listen, Cody's on right now. I like this dude, man. I fucking love Cody right now.
Yeah, when Cody left, that was the sign. That was the sign that something was wrong. Like, yo, Cody.
Yeah, Cody, man.
Yo, he loves this. Inside him, he would love to jump outside himself to really just rub that shit in. Like,
he's doing it now.
I'm gone. They got me.
You just missed
now they got your top draw.
Listen, man,
one of your.
I feel like he took a shot. I feel like he took a shot just now.
Your top draw, still, that's crazy.
I think he took a shot at AEW for some odd reason right now. How he did it.
Listen, they deserve it. They deserve it. They definitely deserve
everything. Think about, man, you know what? Two people we personally I thought would never do what they're doing. I mean, one of them is doing it right now. Didn't think Cody would come back like this.
Not like never this. Thought. Yeah, true. Not like
never.
This, but
never thought
Cody would come back eventually, though.
Not like this, though. I thought maybe he'll come back for like a Goldberg, like a Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? Cody left part time.
Cody left disgruntled.
Correct.
So I didn't foresee that. No one foresaw that. So
I didn't think about fucking CM Punk coming back the way he is. I mean, well, now yes, because it's like you said, it's like a spit to Tony. Actually, it's a spit to those people in AEW.
It is. It makes them look like children. It makes him. Like he used to say, "Tell me when I'm saying lies." He used to say it all the time.
I want to know when he's gonna talk.
Oh,
I want to know if he's coming back to Raw.
That's what
he's gonna go. Nobody's gonna know.
What Punk's draw is. Like
nobody's gonna freaking know.
Yeah, because now look at
now go to both.
Now Hunter has that in his back pocket. Like, oh, now I got Punk. Now you waiting for the promo because we all waiting for the promo. We got to hear.
He could do a promo for both. He literally could do a promo tomorrow. I mean, 2 nights from now, and then switch up and do it at SmackDown.
I would do that. Why not? Rampage come on.
Man, imagine him
Rampage
even in NXT.
Hold up. Rampage is on Fridays, dog. Yeah, I'll do that too. Everywhere AEW's on, I'll book me, Hunter.
Yeah.
For what? All for what? Jungle Boy?
Well, no. First was all because of freaking Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, and
I'm gonna keep Kenny out of it because I don't think Kenny really had an issue with it.
No, okay. So Young Bucks, so Young Bucks and Jungle Boy.
It's the Young Bucks and Hangman Adam Page and come on, bro. Like I said, man, like you just didn't handle the business correctly. This is your top star. This is a guy that's giving you the best ratings that you have at the moment. And you didn't handle the situation right. Now the competition done picked them up after.
Yo, hold on. He's talking about CM. Hold on. Hold on. Damn. Oh, he had to throw Nick Khan in the mix of this conversation.
It's crazy, bro.
Yo,
Absolutely.
he just said, you know what? He was like, he goes, pretty much he says he loves it. He was like, he's hungry, says he loves it. We're doing record business. He says credit to Triple H and Nick Khan. You know he had to throw Nick in there. And he says, yo, whatever's good for
The other
business.
con.
Yeah, and he said whatever's good for business.
It's good for business. It's a no-brainer. Like that's what I was saying from the jump. It's a no-brainer. Like you have to do this for business. What you got to, because AEW's floundering a little bit. So why not stick it to them like one last time before the new year come? You know, this is big. This is huge. I would love to hear, we're gonna see some more reactions throughout the night and hopefully from other wrestlers. I want to see the subliminal messages now, motherfuckers. All the little subliminal tweets. Yeah, I want to see them now. Flips and kicks. Flips and kicks is not gonna put asses in seats. It never did. And never did. This is what put asses in seats.
And then now he's talking about Randy. Yo, too big. Damn, man.
They just gave you Randy Orton and CM Punk on Peacock tonight for free.
Well, and what am I telling you? See, and this is the thing I'm telling you. Nope. Nobody really pays for pay-per-view anymore. And that's something that WWE has switched.
The casual fan doesn't do it.
No, of course. But let's just be honest. Streaming now, I can't lie, man. This forces, and I keep saying it, for AEW, you got a relationship with Max or whatever, you gotta jump. After tonight, you gotta do something. You just gotta do it.
What the hell is the boys and girls thinking who was at Collision and heard the news that CM Punk did just popped up?
They started watching on their phone.
They probably said they probably now
they said, hold on, I got Peacock.
Now the ones that mess with him, Miro, House of Black.
Oh, Ken Miro?
All of those guys.
Miro comes back. What do they all want?
He's under contract for a while, and then CJ Perry just got there, so he's not going nowhere.
That's true.
But the guys that were kind of like Punk guys, House of Black, all of those guys. I wonder what they think. I know they probably like, good for him. Good for him. FTR, what are they thinking right now? Like, and it sucks for them because they re-signed this May. And I think a big part of it was because Punk was coming back and stuff. So now that he's back over there, they must be like, God damn it. But yeah, man, it's good. It's all good for the fans. None of this should be tribalistic. Oh, Team WWE, Team AEW. For me personally, I like it. I like good wrestling. So if you can give it to me on the WWE side, the AEW side, TNA, a lot of these other places, I'm gonna watch it. I watch good wrestling, and I don't just watch it in one place. That's just how I am. You have to entertain me.
You do. I just think this right now puts more of a firecracker up AEW's ass.
They better step it up. They had a good pay-per-view. A lot of people liked it, but they got to step it up now. This is dangerous.
Yeah, but they're gonna hold on to MJF. MJF
he's one of the best things they got right now.
But that's what I'm saying. They're gonna have to do more.
And he's doing well. He's their best
babyface
right now. But
I love MJF.
You need more.
But
you need more. You need a lot more now, because this is gonna help. I don't care if this helps a little bit for the ratings. So wherever he ends up, it's gonna help a little bit. And you're talking about slim margins now. That means all the difference in the world when it comes to marketing deals and
yeah, because right now you're thinking everybody was so ecstatic that Randy's back, and we still don't know what Randy's gonna be doing.
Don't know where Randy's
You
going.
know what I'm saying? You don't know. I like the respect factor in a way of Jay and him. You know, Jay obviously, you know, with the kick and so on during the match. I like that little respect factor that they gave each other. But Randy gonna go back to being heel, turn on Jay, turn on them. So like you got that factor, right? And then I would just CM Punk. You got, I mean, as much as we got tired of Roman, leading up to WrestleMania, we're all gonna be thinking the same thing. Rock coming back. So you now have three things right now. Three things leading up to the new year. Where in AEW, dude, bringing Edge, I'm still calling him Edge. I'm sorry. But
Yeah,
bringing him over there
the
to
rated R.
AEW,
I think
I don't
Christian.
know if
I
they,
think Christian's storyline has really helped out for,
it
and
has.
I think that
But
one of the
don't
best
you think you're going to
storylines
have to tweak it up now even more?
they
You're
have.
going to have to.
They've already kind
No,
of tweaked it up
but I'm
as
talking about
far as
after tonight. I'm talking about after tonight.
well tonight they did some stuff. They had he basically you get
But
another Roman
after
Reigns
what we
head.
just witnessed, though, what you and I just witnessed,
I know, like that's we're gonna have to wait till Wednesday. But tonight
like,
he did he concertoed Luchasaurus or aka Kill Switch now. So he's getting back into
yeah, no, yeah, I saw
demented
that.
demented Adam Copeland thing, which I like, but it's like you said, MJF's kicking ass, but you need more, man. Now you need more because this is big. Like now, WWE plays for keeps, as you see, as we all just see. They play for keeps. They play differently. So it's like, yo, you can play cute games and have watch all your favorite wrestlers wrestle and have all your friends high five you backstage. But at the end of the day, it's about making money. This business has always been about making money. So
Cody looks way happier right now.
he is happy because he's wrestling around. He's working with a bunch of adults and professionals. That's why. And there's something said about that. And I'm telling you, there's going to be more coming out about that over the years. I feel like where
Mm,
styles, as far as the working conditions, as far as certain guys that just like being around certain professionals and cats who just about their business and,
yeah.
and putting in work and doing it the right way. Not just see AW. And I think they have been kicking that because they got a kick out of that. I like them because they're the alternative, but at the same time they just got to be careful. And um, I love them picking up Will Ospreay. I love Will Ospreay, but they're gonna have to just. I just really wish that they could have figured out something with Punk. I think that they squandered that opportunity by essentially placating to the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and the Elite. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, the Elite they're popular, but they're not draws. They're not draws. They don't draw money. We've seen it. We've literally seen it when Punk's been gone,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's been injury or being terminated. We've seen it.
Yeah.
Draws. You might like them because they do all these great matches and flips and kicks and woo, but that's not putting asses in seats. It's not grabbing the attentions from the casual consumer. The cat like me, I'll watch, but the casual, they don't pay attention.
Yeah.
You got
I
to be a
don't.
draw. You have to be a draw. You have to be interesting. And then they'll say, "Oh, okay." Then they look at your wrestling. But WWE fans has always been like that. It's always been, can you grab my attention?
Oh, I know my son's gonna love. knowing that Randy Orton is back
and CM Punk
as CM Punk.
on his preferred brand.
Yeah. And again, why though? See, my son loves going on Peacock, watching old shows, and all that.
Well, that's what you have, man. When you go up against Disney, you go up against an archive that is massive.
And that's why he again, you talk about this, outside the air, and if you have a connection with Max, you're gonna have to put all your cards in, man. Especially now.
Yeah, something hopefully will happen down the road. But listen, man, at the end of the day, I think hopefully a lesson is learned from a business lesson was learned
Yeah,
from this
tonight.
with Tony Khan. I hope he's seen this and said, man, I really, because it's no way by judging from what we just seen, is no way he
Yeah.
can sit there and say, I didn't fuck this up. There's no
No,
way.
no way. I mean, you saw the crowd. You saw the crowd.
His relationship was way worse. And then,
Yeah.
and then whatever happened backstage was just some shit because you just he Tony Khan's like a child, so he got scared and rattled, and he was scared for his life. He was scared for his
Yeah.
life.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
They asked Samoa Joe about it. He was like, oh, I mean, I thought it was, you know, but I understand it's different for different people. Joe basically dissed him.
Joe didn't know what to say.
No, he
He
dissed.
had to watch his mouth.
He nicely dissed.
Yeah.
He said he
Again.
said he was a pussy. Nicely.
Yeah. Like I said, I had to watch what he said.
So
Samoa can say Samoa things.
so I mean, I just thought that was funny when they asked him. He was like, "Oh, I just thought it was normal. Like I've seen this before. Like, you know." But I get it. Then he said, "I get it. Well, everyone's different." So
Yeah,
yeah, like
that would never
on,
happen to
man,
Vince.
like,
That would never
no,
happen to Vince.
Vince is, that happened all the time though. And then Vince would pull guys into his office and talk it in like adults and say, "Hey, man, we got to make this money, right?"
I mean, think about it, man. You had Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, and they really didn't like each other. They hated each other. Like, let's just be honest. They hated each
Hey,
other. You can tell.
okay,
It was good for
that's good.
business. It was good for
I'm glad
business.
you brought that up. The Sean
It's
and
good for business.
so is legendary that they didn't like each other, and they've actually fought each other on separate occasions. One of those occasions was here in Hartford, Connecticut, during a live show, and they had a fight. Legendary that everyone documents that they had basically a knockdown, drag out, pulling each other's backstage. Like this happened. Like this has always happened in pro wrestling. Like these dudes had a brawl backstage that had to be separated. No different than Punk being separated from Jungle Boy.
Things probably was worse back then.
Worse. Like, and these are two top guys. These are your two top guys. And then your top guy is fighting with a lower card guy. Yeah. And then you just because there's other people in the locker room that's friends with the elite and they don't like the Punk. And I have to side with them because there's another incident and I'm scared and I don't know how to handle things because I don't come on.
Or even think about it. Even Bret and Vince. The last night of Bret Hart being in the WWE before he went to WWE, he got screwed with the belt. Because remember, Bret didn't want to lose the belt, and he was then not going to lose it.
He didn't want to really leave either, but he had to. He had
because of the money
for his kids and family.
But at the same
time,
even
beyond that story, even beyond that, now that I don't believe that. I think that's people saying that because.
Well, remember what Vince? No, because Bret said it.
Bret is an honorable dude.
But Bret said it because remember he was talking about when Vince came down, screwed him over. He wasn't supposed to lose that match. Even Shawn didn't even know. Shawn thought he was supposed to lose it himself.
Bret,
you know what match I'm talking about?
They wanted which match? Not the Survivor.
I'm talking about his very last match where it was was it a quick 1, 2, 3? It was a very, very last match, and I know
And
I saw it
WWE?
sometime. Yeah, in the WWE before he went to before he went to WCW.
Oh no,
Um,
no, no, no. It was Montreal. That was it. He was gone after. I remember because on Raw
yeah,
he was
but
gone. Like the
that's what I'm
very
saying.
next
So
night he was
so
gone.
Survivor Series then. But yeah, whatever match it was, but he got screwed over.
It was the Survivor Series Montreal screwed.
Yeah,
Like he was
yeah. He
screwed over.
said,
And
yeah, he said it.
the story behind it is Vince's logic behind it was um
You're not gonna bring my belt to another brand.
yeah, which is bullshit. I don't think Brett would have did that. And Brett's whole thing was he was like, I just want this fucking clown running around who doesn't respect anyone. Because at the time, Sean was just
Sean didn't.
he was just a prick, right? And he's
Hmm.
like, he said Sean said I'm not trying to put you over or whatever, and then Brett's
Yeah,
I'm not gonna put this motherfucker over either. Like he don't respect me. Like he said I will put the belt on anyone. He said you roll Austin out here. I'll fuck it. He said I'll do it for anyone. I'm not gonna put him over tonight in Montreal. It was all about
yeah,
Montreal. It had nothing to do with him not having a belt. He just was like, I don't want to put him over in fucking my country. He don't fucking respect.
yeah.
Like you could have figured out a way to get it off him, like without him losing it in the night that night. Like
But but,
you
but
could
I
have
guess
figured out different ways around it. That's what I'm saying. But
but regardless of the matter is Vince screwed him over, and then years later, when Vince be Vince bought the WCW, Brett still came back.
yeah,
Why? Because of
because
his business. Business is business. Something that Tony obviously
I just think that at the time it was just he. It's a
it was
again
respect. It was just
it's a
respect
learning
back.
it's a learning and I don't want to just beat up on the guy too much. It's a learning curve for him. This is all new
Mm-hmm.
to him. You've been in the business for 4 years, so hopefully again, because I like the brand, I prefer AEW as a brand, but I am not naive to say that they're not going to have these no learning curves because they're new,
Yeah,
they've been around for a few years, like so to be as far as they are in the time they've been out is still impressive. We have to
of
remember,
course.
like they're going against Disney, like it's not, you know what I mean, like they're not
And they're
even,
doing a good job
yeah, they're doing
until
a great job. They're
recent.
not even
Until
DC
recent.
yet. They're not even DC yet. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Let's
they're
not try
still
to be
trying.
DC right now.
Yeah, of course, but I'm just saying in stature and art
Yeah, no, I got you.
and stuff like
Yeah,
that. You know, they're still working and getting there in their way there, but I hope that they just take tonight as a lesson in business and how you can handle things a lot differently because
let's see what happens
clearly,
on
yeah,
Wednesday.
clearly, you know, that's what they still struggle at, and this is huge. And you know, I've
I
been
mean,
saying it. Like I'm like, yo, if they get this dude,
oh yeah,
and
you said it was a wrap, and
it's
it's a
gonna
wrap
be
right now.
it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be real hard for these dudes because now it's like the clearly the fans. And I still watch the programming, but this clearly there is a percentage of fans that stopped watching when he left. It's clear.
Correct.
I don't care if
I
it's
mean,
fifty
I kind of did.
thousand or 100,000, maybe. It's got to be around 100, at least 100,000
I
have
mean, I kind
stopped
of left it.
watching after he left Collision specifically, because Collision used to be 500,000 and up as far as viewership. It doesn't even get that anymore. It's like around 300,000 now, 350,000, somewhere around there. Like,
Yeah.
and it only happened when he got fired. So I'm not just saying this because I'm a Punk fan. I'm saying this because I do simple math. Like that simple math says your ratings has suffered since All Out or All In. So I don't know. That's I want to harp on it too much, but overall, Survivor Series is a good night. I mean, they delivered. The match card wasn't as great, but the matches that needed to be that were highlighted, the War Games matches, they were
Had
they were good. So
And
Um,
minutes match.
I just think that the women's match was better, but
Yes.
both matches held their own. It did what they were supposed to do. And then at the top, you got the cherry on the top. You got Randy back, and then you got CM Punk, which again they held off pretty well by trying to tell
And
people,
he
oh, we're
said
not
no
doing,
words.
we're not doing this. We're not gonna bring him in and all this and all of that. And they did pretty well as far as um,
Hiding it.
hiding it and keeping it under wraps for the most part. So now we got to see what's going on. Now I'm definitely going to pay attention to Raw. I don't
You
even
have
care for
to.
Raw. I got to pay attention to Raw now to see what
And
the
if you
hell.
don't, and if it doesn't show up at Raw, you gotta pay attention to SmackDown because
I got to
yo,
pay attention to SmackDown.
you just don't know. I mean, he had
Just
no
don't know.
words.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so it's going to be interesting to see what comes forward from this. Obviously, I'm going to try to keep my thoughts on the situation as it goes. And
And
for
imagine if he brings wifey back to WWE
he just that's just doing too much because it was rumored that she was thinking of trying to
of
come back
AEW.
and doing something there at first, and
Yeah,
then
because she's at WoW right now.
yeah, and she's doing creative stuff behind the scenes with them.
Hmm.
Not really a talent, but oh boy,
So
buckle.
before we cut it off, though, what's your thoughts if she comes back to WWE? Because now it's one of those like, damn, you could have had her at AEW.
Why not? On his way out too, especially like because
That's
he's got maybe 2 or 3 years tops,
but
and
that's what I'm saying. What's your thoughts
and
on
then she
on
can
the
probably come back and then
possibility?
be 2 or 3 run for her, and she can actually properly retire because she didn't
No, she
really
just
retire either. So
no.
this is kind of this. That's a good point. It's kind of maybe it's kind of probably closure for him, but also for her as well in her career.
Correct.
'Cause a lot of people still look at her as like you know, kind
I
of
do.
a punk of her
Yeah.
of her little era
I
because
loved her gimmicks.
I
I
just
loved her gimmick.
I wasn't a big AJ Lee fan, but
I was.
people liked
I
it, so it was like
I loved her
whatever.
gimmick. It's like
But
me and my boo over there in AEW, man. Sky Blue, man. My boo, right? You already know. You already know.
but hey, people liked it, so but it'd be good closure for them both. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I'm gonna definitely try to keep my eyes on what's developing, but overall, good freaking night,
Oh yeah.
more than I expected. So um man, they just keep the momentum going, man. Shit, it's your turn now, AEW. It's your turn.
Triple H ain't playing, man. Triple H is like this, man. Getting the belt. He's just holding it together now.
Yep. All right, y'all. That's all for this one. Peace.
Later.